We keep reading that there is a short list, and on the short list, we hear names like Senator Rubio, Senator Tim Scott, Senator J.D. Vance, Governor Burgum. Are those reports accurate?
Well, we started off with a lot of people. We have a lot of good people, as they call it. We have a great bench in the Republican Party. The names that you mentioned, absolutely, they're under consideration. And I haven't made final decision, but I have some ideas as to where we're going.
Okay, so depending on when you talk to Donald Trump, he has 2 names or 3 names or 5 names, and then suddenly he'll remember that Ben Carson exists and there's one extra name for a little bit or whatever. But it appears, based on reporting, that 2 things are true. One, that it is 2, maybe 3 names, and that he probably has already picked because they have an event already planned for July 18th. That is very soon, in which the VP is going to be there. It says with the nominee for vice president. Maybe he means that he'll just have like 3 dudes in the same suit standing side by side, but that's during the RNC. We expect that he'll have the person to give a speech for the RNC. So we are very close to it. And according to close sources, it looks like Marco Rubio, JD Vance, and Governor Doug Burgum. Now, other reports are saying that that's one name too many, that Marco Rubio is not really a serious nominee there. But again, it depends on the individual report. And I just wanted to turn to how this thing might get decided. So Doug Burgum, a guy that nobody knows anything about other than the fact that he has money, I think is very funny. So that's one thing in his favor. JD Vance has something that's not in his favor, and it's probably not something that you would have thought of. That photo actually is of a JD Vance who has a better chance of being the VP. And I'm gonna let reporter Mark Caputo point out what one of the stumbling blocks might be.
You actually have reporting, Mark, on how looks are playing into the VP choice, specifically with JD Vance and Governor Burgum.
Right, of all things that Donald Trump doesn't really like, it's facial hair. If you'll notice, most of the guys around him are clean shaven, and there's some buzz in Trump's orbit like, look, if JD Vance doesn't get it, it's because of the beard.
Now that sounds ridiculous. It sounds like the sort of thing that could only be said to make Donald Trump look shallow and petty, but it also feels accurate. And I wonder, with this new reporting coming out, and this is something that we've heard before, is there any chance that the next time we see JD Vance that he'll have shaved his beard in a last-ditch effort to get the nomination? I don't know. What do you make of that list, Yes?
I think that would be really hilarious if that is what happened. Maybe you should shave your beard and then you could be in the running. Don't shave your beard, it's fine. But I don't know about the list. I do think that Trump is gonna milk this for a while. I don't think he wants to pick anyone. Maybe he's not over his breakup with Mike Pence yet. Maybe he's still reeling from that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he draws this thing out for as long as he can, however long that can actually be. For one, I think he likes the idea that all of these already influential and opportunistic politicians are fighting over him, right? Everybody wants to be the guy that Donald Trump picks. 2, I think he knows how to work a story in the press. I think he wants us to drag out for as long as he can drag it out, because then he'll get more news coverage. And more importantly, I think he understands that a significant portion of his voting base is a part of his cult of personality, right? They're not voting for his platform. They're not voting for the Republicans. They're voting for Donald Trump because they like him and because they like what they think he represents. He's not going to want to dilute that personal brand by having another Mike Pence next to him, having to share some of that media attention with his new VP. I think he's going to hold off on a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, we should probably know within a week or 2. We will find out. Will it come down to the beard? This guy talks constantly about wanting people that are from like central casting or whatever. And I don't think we've ever seen Donald Trump himself with a beard. Either he can't grow one or he does have that much of a bias against it.
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Could it come down to something as stupid as that?
Beard, right? Or both of his sons have beards.
Both of his sons do have beards. We don't have time to show you the video of him criticizing.
They're not contenders. They're not VP material.
Yeah, but that proves your point because he clearly has no affection whatsoever for them. And so it could come down to that. And with Donald Trump being like one filet-o-fish from keeling over, a beard could determine who becomes the next president of the United States.
God.
Tune in to find out.